All right, we're cooking.
Cooking.
We're cooking. We're
Cooking.
With details.
welcome to the Stop Sign Podcast, episode 2, StuCast
RC car?
edition in the Student Union.
RC car on the way.
What is that noise?
Featuring the random RC car
Drum
that
strike
lives
coming
in
in.
the walls.
I didn't think Obama was here.
I didn't think Obama was here.
Starting off with a little.
Oh, hold on,
special
we're starting
feature.
off political. Wait till we get those videos of
No.
Isaiah from the other night.
Hey.
We're gonna
No,
get canceled
that's,
real
that's
quick.
in reference of me watching the Donald Trump Anaheim rally.
He was getting marketed to.
Bro,
I
was
was-
chicken at the Anaheim rally?
But there's a lot of Trump supporters in California. Maybe it just seemed that way. But
They
there
were
was
just
a
all there.
bunch-
At Anaheim.
There's a bunch of Trump supporters at the Anaheim rally.
I saw he went to Conway, South Carolina. That's where I'm from.
Oh,
Myrtle
yeah.
Beach. And, dude, he went to Coastal down there. The Snapchat stories. I
Oh,
saw,
shit,
bro.
Coastal Carolina, bro.
Yes,
I wanted to
bro.
go there
I've
so
snuck
bad.
on
That was
their
my
field
dream school.
before.
You smoked on their field?
I
or snuck.
snuck.
Snuck?
Snuck on there.
That would've been even crazier.
Nah, I'm a,
What I was gonna say is just the amount of energy that can be like understood from Snapchat is insane at a Trump rally.
at a Trump rally.
At the Trump
The Trump rally is insane. I remember whenever he drove through Bristol, it was like Jesus came back to
I was
Jerusalem or
just gonna say,
something, bro. It was
imagine
like
if we-
He got disciples and shit.
it was crazy. We had teachers and stuff like just straight up showing their support. It was
just flaunting it,
yeah,
flags out.
yeah.
yeah,
Make
baby.
America great again.
Yeah,
You're gonna get excited about something. It better be
Yeah.
70-year-old man ready to talk shit.
I was on my way to work, and I got behind the funeral procession for the cop that passed. And, like, while I'm not trying to, like, dunk on it at all. I have complete respect for that whole system. But I got stuck behind there. It was like an hour and a half drive. We were sitting still. It was bad. It was just
Sitting
inconvenient. It was just inconvenient. I'm not hating. Once again, do not cancel me, please.
Do not
I
cancel me,
am-
please.
Just saying that I was stuck in traffic and it was a little inconvenient for me. But also, there was a ton of just people who were like waving like the craziest flags, like some real intense shit. It was the time to
It's like
wave what you
Shit
like,
that ain't
rep-
even
rep-
related. dude.
rep your set. Like they had like a Christian sign, like a Christian flag,
That is,
and
I
like
mean,
they were like, every truck had
Okay.
flags flying from the back.
okay.
I respect the Blue Lives one. Like that one I respect because of like just the nature of the event.
Yep.
But like whenever you're bringing out your set.
They're waving the Trump flags for the blue for the blue man.
That's always like when people attach things that are political to the death of a person who is not even moderately related to it.
That's partially why I just didn't like the funeral procession in general because it brought
Partially
out like just so much. But I did really like how they brought out so many different firefighters, just people like who were in the whole system and they were all along. There was this one I saw.
Abolish
this kid
the fire
holding,
department.
thank you for your service. Abolish the fire department?
No.
Are you crazy? Hold on. Hold on.
No, did y'all see that the neon lights they like programmed them to be blue for I can't remember if it was 2 nights ago
Oh, for real?
or it was recently though.
That's what that blue light was.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
The neon lights were shining blue to honor the life that was lost. I don't even remember what his position was, but
He was a deputy.
the deputy. I thought that was really neat. Tennessee showing support.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of shootings, bad day to be Joel Osteen. It's a bad day to be Joel Osteen at all. I don't like him.
You're not a fan of the Joel?
I'm not a fan
Why
of
would
Joel
you
Osteen.
be? Mega churches are the bane to my existence. I
Dude,
hate
ma-
mega
My
churches.
mom preaches about the Joel, man.
Are you
She
serious?
Preaches about the Joel, yeah.
The Joel is a very corrupt, greedy man.
You're probably right.
I'm with that. Joe
Probably
Rogan
right.
spit on that one. If
Joe
y'all want to
Rogan
go
spit on
check
that
out, y'all look up Joe Rogan's take on Joel Osteen. I share the same take. It's on the Ron White podcast.
I did hear that what was the most recent devastating hurricane that passed through that area? Are y'all familiar with the one that was like went through Texas, flooded
Harvey?
everywhere? I think it was
Yeah.
Harvey.
I know which one you're talking about. Though.
Yeah, and he claimed that his basement's flooded through it, and that's why he couldn't take on anybody to put in his
Oh
church.
yeah, because he didn't
Yeah.
he didn't take care of anybody. He,
He
didn't
didn't
bring
want
anybody
the-
in the church.
Yeah,
they
They wanted to
remodeled
get
the
it-
fucking
yeah,
church.
They remodeled that shit. He was like, I don't want him to mess up my new carpet.
no,
Dude,
Like, that's
I
some
haven't
debuted.
bullshit.
please.
haven't debuted.
Joel Osteen, dude. I remember listening to one of his radio shows whenever I was like 8 or 9 in the car on the way to the beach. And he yapped about how virtuous he was setting up a church.
Oh,
And
dang,
then-
man.
I mean, I like to see people doing good and using their wealth for good. And he likes to put on that facade, but
Yeah, I
Just
feel
not
like
do it.
anybody who represents themselves as like a
Yeah,
a
as a-
Christian speaker or something shouldn't be talking about how great they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also like as a Christian speaker, like I think that all Christian speakers, I don't think I should know your name. Like the only reason I should know your name is because I'm like following you on social media. Like I don't think that you should be a celebrity. You're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't hold any celebrity role, but I do think there is value in like having a personal connection with who you're learning from. You know what I mean?
And I mean, like it's a wonderful thing. Like I think that like social media influencers who take it the right way, and I think that people who just like spread their point of view on it, I have a lot of respect for those people. But my point, whenever it comes to like I shouldn't know your name, is you shouldn't be a mainstream celebrity. Because you shouldn't be using this to sit there and be like, oh, well, I want to preach the gospel, but I also want to make 10 figures and buy a monster mansion and build the biggest church ever and have like 10 Maybachs.
doing it for the wrong reason.
10 Maybachs while teaching about God.
Teaching about not having
I
greed.
need to be luxurious if I'm going to teach about God.
And it's not even like God says you can't have money. It's just he's doing it for the incorrect reason.
Yeah.
He does say it is hard. He doesn't say you can't have it, but he did say it's harder it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to go to heaven. Dropping a little Bible belt on y'all.
Dropping
He
a
spit.
little Bible verse.
He spit.
He ate with that one.
He did. I will say, from a secular standpoint, the entire book of Proverbs is very wise.
There's a lot of wisdom, like whether or not you believe in it or not. There's a lot of wisdom in the teachings of any religion because that's what they like. That's their philosophical beliefs. That's like combined, like agreed upon.
Refined over. How long do you think it took to compile the Bible?
The canonical Bible as we know it today.
As we know, and I'm talking about like as a unit of
Are you
measure,
talking
I'm
about
like a year? As
King Jet, there's so many different versions at this point. Like, which one?
All right, what are we talking about? Are you talking about just the book?
I'm talking about the first time that they put
The
a
first time they
spine
threw it
on a
together.
book and
Okay.
then put a title on it.
So would that
How
be?
long do you think it took to compile all those verses, all those?
Well, they all had scrolls, so they did kind of have it all written down. They just didn't put it together.
I got you.
I think the first time they bound a book titled the Bible was
The first time
probably
books were
Greece,
created, for real.
probably ancient Greece, and it probably took them because they had to do all that shit by hand until the press came out, the Gutenberg press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like an
Um,
American thing, wasn't it?
That printing press?
It was
It was an industrial revolution thing, though.
Oh, okay.
So, because
So-
that's in the 1800s.
Yeah.
that was.
So they were doing that shit by hand for a long ass time.
Yeah, but they were writing that shit, though.
Yep.
They were writing that shit down.
That's
and
real
then putting it together.
dedication. You write the entire Bible from start to finish in ancient Greek. I mean,
You can make you can put a spine
Transcribing.
on a book before you had the printing press. Like,
yeah,
you can
and
make books.
you had people who had to translate it from, I think it was Hebrew too.
Yeah, it started.
So
in
you had
Hebrew.
to have people that knew Hebrew. That it was translated to Greek, I think,
Yeah.
and then it was translated to Latin from Greek, if I'm not mistaken. That's crazy.
It's a lot of minds on one project.
They care.
And that's why, like, certain translations, like, you can still point out things wrong with the Bible, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
You have any hometown heroes that you want to air out real quick?
I want to air them out.
Yeah. You don't got to drop no names. Just say what they did.
It's like that girl in class I was telling you about. I didn't get to the point, but you know what I mean. Like, I talked shit about this girl in my class who we had a group project, and we were in business class. We had a group project. It's like a PowerPoint, and I got to class late, but I was still trying to contribute to the group. And the teacher tells us, like, we're working on 2 slides right now. One with examples, one with regular. Teacher tells us we need to have 1 slide. So you know what I do? I can see the examples. I remember the examples.
Yeah.
Heard?
He's got the examples. He's got them visualized.
They're up here.
They're strapped in the
They're
knowledge.
up here.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
up here.
They're there.
They're in my
They're in there.
They're in my noggin. I'm
Okay.
just transferring them. Delete slide. Go to the other slide. Why'd you just delete the slide? Blah, 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 blah. Starts yelling at me. He started getting on my ass, and I'm like, she just told me to do it.
Ooh.
And then the like girl in the group started getting on my ass. The teacher just told us to go down to 1 slide.
Dog.
I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I have the information.
It's docked. It's strapped away in the knowledge
It's
hemisphere.
right there, son.
And then she like act like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. She acted like I was a fucking dumbass. She was like, she's like, oh, yeah, you're kicked. You're done. Like, you're done. I'm like, okay. I pulled out Clash of Clans on my phone. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
if you want me off the project, I'm off.
Hey, bro's going to get his credit a different way. But no, I don't really have any heroes like that. If we're talking about just daily frustrations, though, I was walking to class today, and mad respect to those who shower before class. Just like mad respect to y'all, because some people just don't give me the decency.
Shout out to them hygiene warriors.
Shout out
you
to
know,
the hygiene warriors.
making sure you don't smell like shit and
Team hygiene. We are pulling that.
Your
shit,
efforts
like,
do
100%.
not go unnoticed.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn right.
But there's also, you can also go off the far end of the spectrum and go too heavy on the hygiene. And that's the experience I had this morning, man, is I was walking by myself, but yeah, I could smell cologne, and I'm wondering where the hell it's coming
That's
from.
chemical warfare,
That,
son.
dude, it was
That violates the Geneva Convention.
Yeah,
the,
bro, it was,
the
bro.
Geneva
I'm looking
suggestion.
around, and the only person I see.
Yeah. The Geneva suggestion, dude.
The Geneva suggestion.
That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites I've ever heard. Is the Geneva suggestion.
The Geneva suggestion. That's hilarious.
That's tough.
But the only person I could see, bro, was like at least a block in front of me, and it's just amazing to me how some people how people just need that. Well, I guess you don't really need that. I'm not harping if you have like smelly problems, man.
You give
but,
a
like,
bloodhound a seizure like that, dude.
Exactly, bro.
Come
exactly.
on. Don't do that.
All I'm asking
Don't
is
do
when
that.
you're puffing those puffs, man, and you're blasting that smell on you. Just think about the people around you. Think
It's
about
like the
people
scene
around you.
from the Amazing
pump the brakes.
Spider-Man.
Everything in moderation.
The Green Goblin scene in Amazing Spider-Man when he's in that chamber and he gets gassed and he comes out. and
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
whenever he
it's like-
at the end of the movie, whenever the Green Goblin becomes the Green Goblin.
Yeah. He's up to no fucking good in that gas chamber, bro. None.
I picture the little girl in there like transforming, bro.
Let's
Like,
talk
with the-
about
with the
that. Let's
perfume.
talk about the reference to Nazi Germany in that movie with him being in a gas chamber and he comes out and his nose is bigger. I
His
feel like
nose is big.
That felt intentional.
No, bro. It's
That
because
feels
he turned into a
intentional to me, bro.
goblin.
Bro,
It's a
Who?
goblin.
what is a
nose,
common
bro.
anti-Semitic term people use for Jewish people?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
About to drop some knowledge on us.
Goblin.
Yeah,
You've never
For real?
heard? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm
Why
not
do
gonna
you
lie, I'm
think-
pretty
why-
uneducated in that
Someone
field.
just took
I'm
a
not,
picture
I'm not,
of
I'm
us.
not in the anti-Semitic field. I'm not deep down in there.
Someone just took a picture of us while we were potting.
Post it
Hey.
on the UT story.
Post it
Hey,
on the UT story.
Post it on
Please
UT
let them
story.
know.
Shout
Please
out to
let them
Stop
know the
Sign
ad.
Podcast.
We need
Let
a
them know the
sign
Stop
to,
Sign
like, put on the
Podcast.
window or something so people
We
can
need like a sticker.
look it up. Oh yeah, we need to make flyers.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
if
would
you
be
see a
dope.
flyer on campus of the Stop Sign Podcast,
And you're here.
don't vandalize it. Don't take it down, please. Whatever you do, I've had an overwhelming majority of support, but I have had one negative comment so far, and it wasn't even that negative, to be fair.
Hey,
It
but
was
it
just-
burned. It hurt.
Okay,
Let me think about
you cut
that.
deep. Think about your
cut deep.
actions.
To be
Come
fair,
on.
though, I'll take the haters because we need the criticism to get better. You know.
my motivators.
Well, I think there's a difference between hate and constructive criticism.
I know that, but like haters at the end of the day, they might have something to critique, but whether or not it's valid or not, you still need to take that into account because that's somebody's personal point of view.
That's a
on your
perspective.
podcast.
You got something to learn from everybody. That's something I firmly believe in. Is no matter who it is, there is at least something to learn. Even if you hate them, you wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. They're green. They live on a mountain.
They have big
with a dog.
noses.
You know, that's crazy. You have something to learn from everybody. Okay. This is.
Okay, back to the Spider-Man thing. The only one that if you're pointing out the gas chamber thing, I would point it out more towards the William Dafoe one because in the Tobey Maguire one, William Dafoe's Green Goblin, he literally becomes a Green Goblin through gas. The Green Goblin in the Amazing Spider-Man, get it right. He gets.
Get it right.
Is it the Amazing Spider-Man 2? All right, I'm geeking out on your
All
ass.
right.
Shout out Andrew.
He
Garfield.
actually
You're
takes
more
he
studied.
takes the same thing that Spider-Man has, like the same spider venom.
Okay.
It just reacts with his body different.
Oh. Shit.
I need to up my knowledge on my Spider-Man things. Like I consider myself a Spider-Man fan, and yet I'm sitting here blanking on these movie scenes. And I'm feeling
Wow.
awful about it.
I am locked.
Crazy.
Dude, every Spider-Man movie I can tell you the
is
plot.
secretly the webbed warrior sitting right across from me.
Right here. I am Spider-Man. That's why I have the shirt.
Peter. Peter.
Is he calling me a nerd right now, chat?
Peter. You can't just slap together flimsy structures in the yard.
What, Lois?
Dude, you're Peter. Yeah, I mean your Lois is whack.
Yeah, that is kind of ass.
Peter.
I don't want to hear it. I'm not the one who went nonverbal.
You're the one that gave me. Oh, I'm sorry that I'm
Yeah.
complimenting your bud.
Don't worry about it. It's all in good fun.
I'm the one that tried to stop it. I kept telling you.
You
that
ever
this
been
was
to a
not-
post office? You ever sent something through the post office? Like
Yeah,
actually
like
had
me
to
and my
take
grandma go to the
something?
post office all the time.
That's awesome. I feel like I've only been to the post office a couple times.
Have y'all ever been to a third-party post office? Like
Like a
I've been to, like,
UPS?
UPS.
someone that works for or they don't work for FedEx, but they're like independently contracted or something, and they ship through like.
Sounds like some Craigslist shit. Like this sounds like some sketchy stuff.
All I'm saying, man, is at the end of my road, back where I'm from, there's this one small building with a room full of cats and two women. There's a mom and a daughter, and listen, man, they've got FedEx posted on the walls, but I've never seen a FedEx truck there. But that's
He's
where
like
I ship my
Apollo's
packages.
like mother and sister or something. Are they like the god of messages? The
They
god
might
of
Right
Bro,
down the
messages?
street, got
They
it.
might
Right.
just press two fingers to their temple and send that bitch off.
Yeah, dude.
That's all I know.
Does it get shipped though? Does it get?
It ends up where it needs to be. It does get there.
That's what matters.
but
That's
I
what
would-
matters.
It's the only place I've ever seen somebody who's like so disconnected from like a large scale corporation, and but still sends my packages. Not a post office though.
Shit.
Not a post office.
That is a great,
can't
wonderful
receive
segue. Wonderful segue into. Hang on, I had it. We're back. Support local businesses. How are we feeling about them? How are we feeling about local business?
I think we need more student-led business on campus, man. A couple years ago,
Okay.
when before I got to UT, I was told that there was a lot of like maybe like spot up like clothing stores, like if someone was trying to sell their like art or whatever.
Vintage market.
Yes,
It's
dude,
like
stuff
it's like a
that.
collective thing. It's not. It's more of like a thrift shop kind of vibe. But if you'll go on at Vintage Market on Instagram, I don't. We don't have enough following to really plug them like that. But plug whenever we're big. Whenever we got 2 million followers. Go back
Shout
to the
out
first
Vintage
video.
Market.
If
And
you're
shout
in
out
the greater
Vintage Market.
Knoxville area, find the Vintage Market, and you will be able to cop some heat.
You will get some
Some
drip.
drip.
And
Will be
if you
found.
if
He
you
will be
steal
found,
all the good
like,
stuff,
guaranteed.
if y'all steal all the good stuff because I plug this shit, I'm gonna fight.
I'm beating
I will fight somebody over
every
that,
single
bro.
one of you up.
Do
Every
not
single
run
one.
up my prices, bro. I am too broke for y'all to be running up them prices.
Shouts them out.
I'm
threats
already
them to
paying-
Check it out.
I'm already paying like $70 for a pair of Carhartt pants. Like, chill on me.
It's the demand now, bro. It's crazy. When this stuff first started,
If
those
you
Carhartt
really like
pants were
small
$5.
businesses, you would let them thrive, baby.
Yeah.
I want them to thrive. I just don't want the prices to go up. Pardon me. I'm eating my smoothie bowl.
If you're a 2A supporter in the greater Knoxville area, come to Frontier Firearms, 1218 Gallagher Road, Kingston, Tennessee, 37763. And come see me while I'm at work. Come buy a firearm if you're allowed to. Dude, we have some weird customers. I can't even lie. I'm going to dunk on
That's
some
not
customers.
how you advertise, man. You
I'm
can't
just
just shout out
saying.
your place and then talk about how weird the people are.
I'm saying the
People are weird.
customers,
Across the
bro.
world.
I mean,
People
you're
are
not
weird.
wrong. You're not wrong. But that's
What
I mean,
baffles me are the people who know that they're going to get denied on a background check and still try to buy a gun. That is really funny to me. Like, you come
Showing
into
up.
the store, you make us ring your ass up for like a Sport 2, for example. It's like $850. We're like, okay. And then they go through the Form 4. They get down to the one that's like, are you a convicted felon? And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, do I have to answer this one? And you're like, dude,
do I have to answer the one about
Yes.
being a convicted?
if you are a
felon?
felon, you cannot buy a gun.
If you've killed somebody,
If you-
no more guns for you.
If you're looking to go to the next Super Bowl parade, no more guns.
Yeah.
For you.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. How I don't even like know enough context to really speak on it, but I just want to talk in general. Sporting events, why are we spreading hate, bro? It is literally about like this is a game. This is a game where you
Yeah.
throw a ball of leather to another guy and you
God.
hit dudes. Like it's not deep enough for you to really take your anger out on other people.
Let's also
Never okay.
consider the news outlets. Like, I just took a screenshot of this because I saw it and it was wild. Daily Mail putting an angle on this story, making it political, more political than it has to be.
That's crazy.
So I took a screenshot of it, and it says Tone Deaf Travis. So what they do is they first they're dunking on Travis Kelce, which I mean I don't blame them. I don't really much care for Travis Kelce for a number of reasons.
Bro's been too positive in the public spotlight.
Second-
we
I
need
also
some
think-
negative.
He's winning too hard, but I
He's
also
winning
I do
too hard.
is.
I do appreciate how he just keeps it real. Like he's not hiding anything from anybody. I do respect that.
I don't like the fact that he does Pfizer commercials. That's my thing. I don't like whenever.
Get your bag.
Do you know
up.
how much he's getting paid for those Pfizer commercials?
Get your bag
He's
up.
getting paid almost
Right.
as like.
But
I forgot what the numbers were. But
At the end of the day, I don't fuck with Pfizer. I don't fuck with Big Pharma. Fuck a pharma. But it's not his job to speak on the politics of it. It is his job to get a bag.
it's his job.
Yeah.
So,
That's how I look at it.
As
man.
long as he's not donating the money to pharma. I know,
Shit.
but I understand your perspective. I do agree that the Pfizer commercials are a little crazy.
So second thing I noticed on this is the person that was killed in the crowd was shot with a handgun. The picture has an AR-15 or a AR-15 like rifle.
Lil
on
Uzi.
there. So you're being dishonest in the way that you describe what happened, because a lot of people only look at the picture and read the headline, so
Yeah.
they think, oh.
So if I
They
throw
just-
something on the headline and get somebody to look at this, like Travis Kelce next to a gun after
That's-
a shooting in a
That is
like a
bad
Chiefs.
journalism. That
Bad
is straight
journalism.
up piss poor journalism.
spreading
It's just-
public fear.
Yes.
It's just manipulation of the public. People do that.
The percentage of mass shootings or shootings in general that use an AR-15 are slim to none, and a lot of them are suicides. A lot of people, I think, like 60% of gun deaths in America annually are suicides to begin with.
Don't hold him to the stat there.
He
That was
did
off
say,
top.
I think. He did say, I think.
That was off dumb.
It's close to. It's like a 60, 2/3, something like that. It is more than half. It is a majority of gun violence and gun deaths in America are
self-harm.
It's self-harm, which is, I mean, obviously it's not good that people are killing themselves, but it's a symptom. It's not the root cause. Guns are not the root issue.
Yeah, man. And I mean, if anything, it really highlights if that is a true statistic. I mean, we're gonna have to do some more research to really.
Jamie,
to
pull
really,
that up.
To really, yeah.
Hold on. Let me Google.
But,
You can keep talking about it while I'm Googling.
If that statistic does compare or show any truth, I mean, it really just shows that over a majority of incidents are related to someone who's not happy with themselves. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I feel like we as a country could do more or more of a community rather, because I think a country kind of just goes too far into saying that our government is responsible, but I feel like as a community we should do more to try to, take self-respect and make sure our own personal happiness and confidence are at
Bro.
the right levels that they need to be.
I preach spit. I'm a very large proponent of taking your safety into your own responsibility.
For sure.
Just got my enhanced carry permit. Can't have it on college campus though. Which,
Can't have it in college.
but a lot of mass shootings that happen, one, are gang violence. Two, happen in gun-free zones. Why would a criminal go anywhere where they know that there's going to be people with guns? If you're going to commit a shooting, you're going to go to the place where you're going to be able to do the most harm. Gun-free zones.
Because no one else is going to be able to defend
Like
themselves.
ASU. ASU is a gun-free campus, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a shooting there. How many people? Let's see
He's
what
going to
the,
pull up the
let's
numbers.
see what the number is.
So back to
let me
the
ask you this.
suicide stat.
Oh, suicide stat? Let's
Okay.
hear it. Let's hear it.
So
Mhm.
the stat that he might have saw is death in 2021. I'm looking up according to the PEW, might be Pew, I don't know, Research Center. They did a study on suicides accounted for in the gun deaths in the U.S. in 2021. 54% were suicide, 43 were murder, and then 3% were other, which is kind of like maybe both. That's got me a little. Other includes gun deaths that were accidental, involved law enforcement, or had undetermined circumstances. My bad.
3% of unprobable cause. Well, I shouldn't say unprobable,
Which is
but
unknown.
unknown. Yeah, but it's crazy that the 54 takes the majority there. Close to 60.
See, I've been even fooled by media. I thought it was a shooting on the campus. It was at a complex near the ASU West campus, and it was one man.
Fake news, bamboozled.
The Arizona Republic says that Quentin Dooley had beef with the victim who was shot and killed near ASU.
You're telling me the article you're reading says that he had beef?
He had beef. That is the word. That is the word in quote.
Is it in quote? Okay,
it is
I
in
was gonna say.
quote.
Bro
Okay.
had beef at the ASU campus.
So
Not funny. We're not
Not
laughing at
funny
that
at all.
So yeah, there's a lot of bad journalism out there, and that's not even just for guns. That's for everything. That's for medicine, like Ozempic. What else is there bad journalism for? Just, other
Education,
politicians.
man.
Education.
It's inaccurately represented 100
Oh.
times over.
On a more positive note, I think that while there is a lot of misinformation, I think that it is good that people are getting better at reading the media. People are getting better at understanding, like, they don't just wholeheartedly trust every media outlet that they get because they know that they're just so absurdly trying to get you to agree with them and market to you and use these marketing techniques, and we're getting smart enough to know that we need to find other sources to find our information.
That's something else. We can sit here and complain about how bad journalism is all we want. It's kind of a two-way street. If we don't do our job to make sure what we read is accurate and what we get the full story, we're just as responsible in a way. We are just as accountable for the lack thereof. Yeah, I'm just sitting here looking at this sandwich. We're probably going to wrap it up like 12:15. It's 12:09. So we got a few. So yeah, it's kind of our responsibility as well. In order to find the information, because the information is out there. It's not like there are no media outlets now that don't report good news, or they don't at least try. There are also apps that you can download that will give you like the same story just from different legacy media or independent media, and it will show you how it leans, so you can get like a full perspective from both sides and kind of formulate your opinion based on that. And I appreciate that.
What media resources do you like to use personally? Whatever's on the feed.
I don't really. I mean, I don't go actively seek out news unless it's related to firearms or anything like that. So I forget what the app is called that shows you the different.
Me personally, if it doesn't got a Subway Surfers clip on the top while they're telling me something, I'm not watching it. You're not giving me the
The
news.
Subway Surfers clip is a mandatory thing.
Screen time.
I use NBC News app.
Mhm.
That's where I get some news headlines, but I don't really use that as much as I use CNN 10, man. If y'all remember the CNN 10?
Yes.
Dude, Carl
With that-
Azus retired.
Carl Azus is gone.
I-
I'm pissed about it.
I'm heated.
He was there for me when no one else was. He was the one giving me the accurate angle on the Ukrainian conflict. He was the one giving me an accurate angle on
Not
COVID.
only accurate, but neutral, I feel like.
Neutral, accurate, concise.
Another neutral outlet. It may sound boring because it's not going to be as exciting because it's just information, but PBS News, they're pretty neutral.
Love 'em, bro. Love
Pretty
'em.
neutral.
Let me
Shouts
see.
out PBS.
Everyone needs to just follow news outlets that are audience are targeted for kids.
You all-
then
Type
we'll
shit
all
I
be
don't.
safe.
It
No,
makes
PBS
sense.
is actually like PBS Kids is like Wildcrats
Oh.
and shit, but PBS News is actually adult stuff.
I just hear PBS and I go straight to the Wildcrats.
I get
man.
it. I
Oh.
did the same thing whenever
Yeah.
people talk about
Epic
it to me.
Times. The Epic Times is I know for a fact is a good news source. It's one that's
Sounds
not.
epic.
They don't spin it a certain way. They report on everything. Epic Times. Dude, if you want to get some unbiased media, Epic Times is where it's at.
One thing that I'm learning about this whole podcasting thing that's a little hard is knowing when to talk. I'm gonna be big self-aware. I've been interrupting hella, but it's hard to like.
That's how
like,
conversation
we need like
goes,
a
man.
we need like a red light for whenever like one person's talking or whenever
talking
it's like
stick.
it's like my turn.
You don't have the talking stick.
Yeah, we don't need a ball. We don't need like a respect stick.
I'm going back to CNN 10, man. The new guy that got on there,
CNN
Coy
10.
Wire. Have you ever seen that?
Nah.
He's a bald dude. He's got a smile on his face the whole time.
He gets
The
after
whole
it.
time. He is positively active. Not
We-
just active, but active in a way that makes me feel good, man.
We love
Mhm.
positivity. I love people that spread positivity. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I don't care if you are a fry cook at Taco Bell. I don't care
Yeah.
if you are a server in a dead-end restaurant where your managers are shit. Me.
Because
If you're spreading
energy is
posi-
energy, man.
Yeah, if you're spreading positivity, if you're still fighting through it, and you're like, even if you're in a bad situation and you're spreading positivity, I have so much respect for you.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Coy Wire.
I worked with this woman at Applebee's, and she was missing some digits, and I'm not talking about her phone number, dude. She
You talking about her chromosomes?
I'm talking about fingers.
That's what I was thinking.
So she had been. I hate to air this out for her. I'm not gonna drop any names, but I just have so much respect for this woman because she was in a car with a bunch of her coworkers at one time, and they were out real late, and I think the driver was drunk, and they rolled off a hill.
Oh, man.
They all got out of the car and left her there because her hand was stuck underneath. The car was upside down.
No.
Her hand was
Oh
stuck
my
on the top of the car between the ground and the car.
Oh my gosh.
Like 3 of her fingers were severed, and they left her there.
They're like, all right, sorry.
And she
we're out.
survived.
And
That's
she survived,
incredible.
and law enforcement came and got her at like 7. She was there from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. by herself.
Bleeding out.
I
Severed
don't know
fingers.
what time of year it was, but she had been in like 3 wrecks since.
Since that incident?
Since that incident as
Yo,
well.
she needs to
Girl,
stop.
she
getting
first
into
she
her
need to
on-
take the bus or
get on-
something.
I was like, get her on the bus.
Get her on the bus.
Get her on the bus, please.
Strap her
But
in, bro.
but yeah, I have so much respect and admiration for someone who can go through something like that. And she was very cheery, very joyful all the time. I guess that may just give you a new appreciation for life. I don't know. Maybe I need
a little
to
more grateful.
undergo something traumatic, but no, I'm just kidding.
Been there,
That-
pal.
I definitely think that people who have gone through struggles and have really had to face like deep, dark scenarios like that, like just utterly tragic and traumatizing situations, have some of the most positive outlooks on life because they've had to face how dark reality can be. And I feel like that gives them inspiration to want to lead a life that is opposite that, and they want to
Mhm.
spread that positivity because I mean I feel like being happy is only so much more valuable once you understand what it's like to be sad. You know what I mean?
It's the same way why rich people don't value materialistic things, while people who struggle their whole lives just to afford to feed their kid, they have a lot more value towards money and a lot more. I guess you could be greed, but it's also just like thinking about like the money that they need. Like they have a lot more need for it. I guess I can't really find the word there.
I got you. So if I could leave you with a quote for the day, I'm going to say, count your blessings and appreciate them. You got a quote for the day? Let's go around because that'll be our final thing.
Put me on the spot here, Johnny on the spot. Stay positive. I'll go with that.
Stay
Spread
positive.
positivity. Be nice today.
I'm gonna ask you all. Oh, I have a list of quotes,
Okay.
so that's why I pulled this up.
Go ahead.
This one's coming from American Baron, who is a TikToker who I used to follow when I had TikTok, and he was the one that said happiness is determined by perspective, and I feel like that is very. I
Mhm.
think it carries a lot of magnitude.
Yeah, that's a very powerful statement, and I share the
I
same
hear you.
sentiment.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up. Thank you all for listening. Tune in next week for an episode every Monday. We're going to try to do that. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Maybe next
Timeline goes
time.
crazy.
I think we're going to do once a month. We're going to try to do one outside, and we'll have video with that one, so it's a little more interactive. We're going to have a little booth on Ped Walkway, so look out for us. And thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Peace, guys.